Hello, this is Father Rich. I'm here in the Blessed Mother Chapel of Our Lady of Peace in front of the beautiful piece of work that we have dedicated to the Holy Family. It was presented in honor of the Sisters of St. Joseph with gratitude and for the love and dedicated service that they gave to Our Lady of Peace School for many years. And this was dedicated in 2008. I think it was into the mid 2010s, 2015-ish or so, that the last Sister of St. Joseph was served at Our Lady of Peace School. So we're grateful to them. But the next masterpiece that we have is named after the Holy Family. It's the Sagrada Familia Cathedral, the Holy Family Cathedral in Barcelona, Spain. And it's one of two churches that in the masterpieces. This is number 38 from the book 75 Masterpieces Every Christian Should Know from Terry Glaspey, and built as a Catholic cathedral. And in 1882 it was begun. It still isn't finished to this day. We're 140 years in. I just read something that wasn't in this book. This was written in 2012 and it hadn't been completed. There is a plan to complete it by 2026. Which will be the 100th anniversary of the architect who designed and started the cathedral. So, so that's good news. But he wanted to create something different. And initially, it was actually a different man who started his name was Joseph Maria Boccabella, who wanted to create a magnificent building in Barcelona. And he had a Gothic structure started by another architect. He became kind of, he wasn't happy with it, so then he hired the present architect, Antoni Gaudi, to do the work. And Gaudi had already done several works. He was kind of well respected in Barcelona, but he was very unique in his style. I think we would call it earthy, definitely not conventional, unorthodox. And he saw nature as a sacramental, spiritual revelation of God and his existence, like many of the masterpieces in here. And he wanted to incorporate that into his building. He didn't want to use the straight lines of the Gothic cathedrals. I think he said the straight line is the line of man, the curve is the line of God. So he would try to have a lot of fluidity, as they say, in his form, not to achieve some abstract ideal of beauty, but to reflect the lines and shapes found in nature. And so I encourage you to go check it out. You can't help but, as soon as you see it, it jumps out at you as looking different than the churches that we're used to. And in fact, they say that there's a lot of different opinions. Some people think it is not a beautiful church. So there's a lot of different opinions, but nonetheless, he was trying to allow all of his Catholic faith and doctrine to be expressed in this building, and he gave his life to it. They say that somewhere in his 20s, I think, he was spurned by in a relationship, and he really from there dedicated his life to God individually. He simplified his life. He really got more prayerful and focused on his faith. He ended up living at the cathedral and just dedicated his life to building it and growing in his relationship with God. So really impressive. Sadly, I think it was around in his 70s, he got in a car accident. He was hit by a car and he didn't survive. And he was very simple. They say that when they found him, they took him to the Paupers Hospital because they thought he was a street person, because his clothes were so tattered. And they did find a book of the Gospels on him, which showed his devotion. But one of the things they mentioned that, like, literally his underwear was fastened by safety pins. Like, that's how simple he was. And so he did leave a lot of designs, though, because he knew he wasn't going to complete the cathedral in his lifetime. So he left a lot of designs that showed his desire and his focus. And he ended up, so the builders have continued to build in that spirit of what he was seeking to do. They do mention that he was constantly changing his plans and adjusting. So they kind of wonder, what it would have ended up looking like had he seen the whole thing through. But that was impossible again because of 150 years. They mentioned that the statuary even, it kind of blends in with it's kind of a part of the church as opposed to the separate statues that stick out that we're used to in a lot of the usual typical churches. So just very earthy, very real, very naturalistic, and again, kind of that was intentional by Gaudi because he saw this, the expression and the revelation of God in nature, and wanted to bring both nature and church together in a unique way. So we have quite an impressive monument to that vision, and look forward, hopefully, this being done in 2026 for the 100th anniversary of Gaudi to honor him and this masterpiece that he gave his life to, or at least certainly the second half of his life. So that's the Sagrada Familia by Antoni Gaudi. Started in 1882, but again, hopefully be completed in 2026. Our next masterpiece will be Starry Night with Vincent van Gogh from 1889. Hope you'll join us for that. So have a great day and God bless.